Alright, so before you guys start roasting me in the comment section, hold on a second. I want to explain why this is a re-uploaded video, and the reason for that is because I'm very proud of this video. I made this video back when I had about 2,000 subscribers, and not a lot of people actually saw it, but it was the turning point in my channel, so to speak, and it was when I actually started putting a lot of effort into my actual videos and when I started posting every single day. So this was really the catalyst to what became my channel today, and I really enjoyed making this video, and I actually am very proud of this video. Not a lot of people saw it, like I said, so I wanted to re-upload it and get it out there to the audience that I do have now, because I think that they would really like this sort of video. So if you guys want to see something else like this, I've always wanted to do these sort of videos, and that's what inspired the original Panzer video, the Thrasher video, the ideas that have come along since then, and they originally spawned from this video. So if you guys want to see something more like this in the future, then tell me in the comments. I would really love to do it, because I always wanted to do this style of video. But anyway, let's get right into the actual upload. Hey guys, it's Luke, and when was the last time you heard anyone say that 5 was the best map of all time? Wait, you've never heard anyone say it? Well, I'll tell you why. Because it's fucking shit. Now, where do I begin with 5? 5 is undoubtedly the worst map of all time. I mean, there's just so many things wrong with it. It's not entirely bad, but the thing is that it all just culminates in a shit map. There's so many small things that add up that you just sit there and you go, well, I would be happy if I never played this again, honestly. I just... 5, why do you have to be like this? Okay, being honest though, the intro cutscene to 5 was actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie to you. I liked it. I liked how JFK just smacked open the wall and was like, yeah, let's lock and load. Any last words, Mr. President? And then, he goes off on this whole big speech, whatever. I thought it was cool. But the fact is that I have problems with that conceptually, because why were some of the most powerful people on the planet not informed that there was zombies that took over the Pentagon? Just, you would think that someone would think to tell them, or that there would be guards outside that, hey, would decide to actually shoot at the zombies and that they would hear that. But no, they just decided to break into the windows, and that's the first thing they hear about them. To me, that made absolutely no sense, but it was still actually a good intro cutscene. As far as aspects of the actual map go, it's not polished. The thing with 5 is that it could have been good if it was like triple the size, they had spaced everything out better, but the fact is that it was too small and it just felt clunky as shit. And considering they had 2+ years to make the map, because if you didn't know, Kino was actually supposed to be in World War. Yeah, they probably had to change a few things or whatever, but for the most part, they had a lot of time to make 5. Yeah, they were also working on Ascension, Shangri-La, Call of the Dead, Moon, whatever, but they had time to work on 5 and for it to be a polished map, but they just didn't do that. Treyarch, I don't get you. Why do you do these things? And considering that they did have all this time, you'd think it would be QA tested to the max. But when the map first came out, one of the first things that was actually found in the map was you were able to stand on the table right in the spawn room. You'd think that somewhere in the 2 years that they had the map, a QA tester would decide, hey, let's jump onto this table right here, and then all of a sudden, oh yeah, hey, you're invincible. It just made no sense to me. And back in Black Ops 1, that was actually a way to actually get through all these rounds. That's why in the first few days you saw people getting to round 100, because they would just get up on the table and then they would just sit there for like 3 days. I mean, it wasn't hard. I don't know how Treyarch didn't see this stuff. Now, there's other things like the map is dark as hell. I mean, I turned up the brightness for this gameplay. I turned it up to 13 Elgato, which should make anything ungodly bright, but it was still so dark. There were points in the game where I actually died because I couldn't see the zombies. It is so unbelievably dark. And you would think, especially in the war room where there's so much light, supposedly, that all of the room would be lit up. But no, why does it have to be so dark? I get it, you're trying to make it feel like, it's mysterious and the Pentagon's out of power and all this other stuff, right? But then why are the computers on? Why are there not more lights in the war room? And why does it have to be so goddamn dark, Treyarch? What was the point of that? Speaking of just stupid stuff about the map, why is there no good training spots? The only viable actual training spot on the map is in the spawn room, but in order for it to be any good whatsoever, you have to sit there for a couple of hours and set windows. And if you don't know what setting windows is, basically you get the last zombie in a round, and then you have him in a window and you just rebuild the barrier to that window until he dies out and he doesn't respawn in that window anymore, and then that spawn is cut off for the rest of the game. I believe it's a Black Ops 1 thing only, and it's only actually useful on 5, but it takes so ungodly long to do that it just annoys the shit out of anyone that's actually ever done a world record attempt on this map. And to get past 40, you're going to only be using the crossbow and the MPL, and you're going to be running traps. But like I said, you have to do the window setting for 2 different windows. Why? What is the purpose of that? Like, you would think that, oh yeah, hey, the war room would be good, it's a nice big open area, but there's such fast spawns because there's so many different spawn areas, and there's so little actual space between stuff because they decided to put a ton of tables everywhere. There's like a bunch of jagged corners that you can get caught on. There is nowhere good to train. And now, assuming that you can actually get through a couple of rounds and you can make it to round 8 or 9, maybe 10, whatever, you got the power on, you got, let's say, the Spectre from the box, and you've got the crossbow, right? Let's just say that you have some average guns. Now, you're going to use the crossbow to get out of, little corners, whatever, try to upgrade it, maybe use it as a monkey bomb substitute because there is no monkey bombs in the map. You're going to be using your Spectre for points to get perks, whatever, and then all of a sudden the professor shows up. He's coked out of his fucking mind. He's like slow-mo in his own head. He's on all kinds of drugs, right? And then he just shows up and he's like, I'll take your gun, why not? Fuck you. And then he's so hard to kill with anything besides the ray gun and the Winter's Howl that it's basically impossible to kill him by yourself. If you're playing solo, you are not getting your gun back unless you have one of those 2 things. And that's completely dependent on box RNG. See, if it was a buildable wonder weapon, this would be so much easier because then we wouldn't have to worry about it. We'd be like, oh yeah, hey cool, I get the buildable wonder weapon on like round 7 and I can have something good to defeat the professor. But no, he's gonna take your gun and you're fucked. And if you're lucky enough to actually kill him before he takes your gun, yeah, you get Bonfire Sale and that's Pack-a-Punch for 1,000 points. But still, what was the point? Why did he need to be so difficult to kill? He doesn't actually get any more difficult to kill, I believe. But why did he need to be so difficult off the bat? What was cool about Brutus in Mob of the Dead, let's say, is because he wasn't that difficult to kill ever. He was fast and he did a lot of damage, but the point of the professor was he took your guns and you had to actually kill him, but he was ungodly fast, he would teleport all over the place, and he was strong as hell. He wouldn't actually kill you, but he would prevent you from getting anywhere further in the map, and then you die on like round 13 because you ran out of points or you ran out of ammo or some shit, and you weren't able to Pack-a-Punch or get any perks because he took your gun. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is the downstairs labs, and I don't even know where to begin again with this thing. There's just so many parts of this map that leave me speechless as to why it was so stupidly made, but the teleportation system especially bothered me because why do we need so many teleporters, and why do we need some that teleported me across the labs? What was the point of that? Why not just make like 2 of them and then label where it goes specifically? If you're a casual player, you're never going to figure that out. You're just going to hope to run into the one that's right, and you're going to go back to spawn, or you're going to go back to the war room. You're probably going to die either way trying to get back there, but still. And then you add on the fact that the Novas are down there, and it's an extremely tight, in close quarters area, you're most likely going to die. And then there's 2 box locations. Like, one of them was alright, whatever, but there's one in a little room where I was sitting there with 1 zombie on, I think it was on round 17, getting this gameplay. I almost died. I red screened trying to hit the box just because it was so close quarters that the zombie could actually hit me 4 times and I almost died. That is unbelievably stupid. Why did they need to make it so hard? Now, I get it, the point of the map wasn't supposed to be easy and it was supposed to be a counterpart to Kino, but there's difficult and, fun at the same time and challenging, but then there's difficult for difficulty's sake, and it's ungodly hard. There's no reason that 5 needed to be as difficult as it was. And I think that everyone can agree that if you never played 5 again, you'd be kind of happy. It wasn't a good map in any sense of the word. And honestly, that's why it is the worst zombies map ever made. I've been telling people it's worse than Transit. If you want to, actually go back and play Transit and go and play 5. I guarantee you'd have more fun playing at least Town on Black Ops 2 than you would on 5. It is such a terrible map, and I'm done with that fucking map. I just wanted to make this video to point out it is worse than Transit. On the record, it is worse than Transit. Anyway, that's enough of my ramblings for today. I do hope you guys enjoyed the video. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. What is the worst zombies map of all time? Do you think it's Transit? Do you think it's 5? Do you think it's like Shangri-La or Shadows of Evil or Mob of the Dead? Whatever. Tell me what you think it is in the comment section down below. Also, I'd appreciate a like if you guys haven't done so already. And if you also haven't, please subscribe. We're a little over 3,000 subs. I know my sub count is not public anymore. I decided to not focus on the actual sub numbers, but I would appreciate a sub so that we could actually, grow a little bit and, we can expand and help people, see these videos. Anyway, I do love you motherfuckers. I'll be streaming later tonight over my second channel. That link's in the description to that if you care about my live streams. Anyway, I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.